You ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. John Peckman Podcast, Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance, beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge, go through one set of lights, start looking left. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, hit the bell, you'll get alerts. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Listen for Dave, he'll tell you how to make your very own podcast here in our beautiful studio. And if you're out there waiting for me to ask you to be a guest, do not ask. You hit me up and we away we go, and that's how it happened here.
Yes, sir.
Brian Konopka.
What's up, John Peckman?
The one and only.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've known you since you were a little kid.
Yeah, I was, I think, 10 years old?
Probably.
10 or 11?
Right.
It was when I think you
Sounds about right.
Lessons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy.
I guess, so I must be older than you by some measure. Okay. Yeah, I'm 55.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's not bad.
we're basically the same age. At this point, you're the same age.
At this point, yeah, it's all the
It
same.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're in prostate age. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all, once you get to this point, it's all the same.
It's all,
it's like, hey, do most things hurt?
all the
Yeah,
time.
we're the same age. Yeah, we're the same age.
I'm building my son a recording studio right now, and like every time I finish working, like while I'm working, I'm fine.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
As soon as I'm done, I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. So you have a son.
Yeah, he's 18.
What?
He just graduated. I know, isn't that nuts?
No,
he just graduated from RAM. Yeah, and he wants
crazy.
engineering and producing, so we're building him a recording studio in the backyard. Yeah, instead of going to college, he was the lead trumpet for the RAM Jazz Band.
Oh, cool.
And they went on a couple field trips, and he was talking to the producer and his engineers at the recording studios, and they said,
We need
you know what you're doing, just get into it.
Get into it.
So that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It's awesome.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, man.
And you're going to build a facility.
I am. Yeah, 24 by 12, big old studio. I know.
That's
it's not huge, but it's
yeah.
He's doing hip hop and some jazz stuff, but yeah, it's going to be a perfect size space for him. So
get into it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian, for those who don't know, is a drummer. He's on the scene.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We grew up in Wallingford, Connecticut.
Yep.
It's a town.
It is.
That's all I could say about it.
I know.
For sure. It's a town.
I got out of there a long time. I got out of there like 98.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably did the same, but whatever.
Yeah, you're in Berlin now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how, I don't remember, I got to be honest, as I get older. I mean, I remember you, obviously, but how did you start playing music? You started somehow back in there.
So I grew up next to Jim Oblon,
Right.
who is or was or is Paul Simon's drummer.
Sure.
Excuse me. And, I would hear him playing drums. And when I was like 7 or 8 years old, we had known each other for a few years at that point.
Same age?
Yeah, he was a year older.
Okay.
So same age. Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
So I heard him playing drums, and I was like, hey, Jim, I want to learn how to play drums. And his father being a drummer, his mother being a keyboardist, their basement just was filled with music.
You're in the right place.
Yeah, any instrument you wanted, you could play it there.
Yep.
And so he brought me over, and I started playing drums. That was as simple as that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just from him?
Yeah, that started off with him. Yeah, it would literally, like, every day I'd go over there, and he'd be on one kit. I'd be on, like, the Simmons. Remember those old Simmons electric kits?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had one of those, too.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was great. He had chops back.
No one's better than him.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's just great. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Paul Simon's drummer. How about that?
And sometimes guitarist while playing drums.
He's the greatest. Yeah, I was the best drummer in Wallingford until he came around, and then I was not. Then I no longer was. It's just a fact. I was like, oh, that was a nice run.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Well, now you're back. Well, you're not in Wallingford anymore. Neither of us are.
Nobody.
No.
Yeah. Who is the best drummer in Wallingford now? We don't know.
I know.
How would we find out?
If anybody's watching or listening to this,
who's it?
Call in now.
Come forth. Yeah, come forth. Be on the show.
Right.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It is.
If he had been playing guitar, I wonder if he would become a guitar player. If he was playing guitar by then,
I could tell you it would be a hell of a lot easier moving gear. I actually just picked myself up a new Gretsch Noun last.
Oh, that's right.
On Saturday.
Ooh. How is it?
It's awesome. It sounds so good.
What are the sizes?
8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 22. I mean, it's a big kit. So I had a gig on Saturday night at the Tiger Outdoors, and I brought the whole thing. This is the first and probably last time I'm bringing every drum.
So now you're just
because it's just so big. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, some gigs I'll do 2 up, 2 down, 1 up, 1 down. 8, 10.
Hey, that's
10,
cool
12.
though.
Yeah,
you can always mix it up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I did that too. I had that Ludwig that had too many toms, and I would sometimes use a 10 as the rack, or a 13, or and you just mix it all up. Sometimes all of them, sometimes.
You only have a 4-piece these days, though, right?
Nowadays, I ended up just going standard. But I know what you mean, though. You have them all. You don't have to set them all up.
Exactly. I don't even have cases for all of them.
Ooh.
I mean, I had a 5-piece forever. You know what I mean? That's what I've always had.
Why?
Except for when I was a kid, of course. I had the CB700. And then me and Seth Adam.
Oh, yeah. You got to get him up
We both, like, ripped the shells off, or the, what is it? The
lugs?
No, not the, well, yeah, we ripped everything. The lugs, the wrap, that's what it is. The wrap off our jumpsuit. We painted them all black so I could have this big, huge black double bass.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
CB700 sounded like shit.
Oh, yeah. That's what we used to do. Yeah, me and my friends, we would have drum sleepovers. And he would bring his drum kit, or I would bring my drum kit to his house, and we would make one giant drum kit.
Exactly.
Play all weekend.
That's all. And it was awesome.
Yeah. Beautiful. That's really funny. That's killer.
Yeah, dude.
So you're going over there, going through the hedges or whatever to get to gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going over there.
Just eventually it got to the point where actually I didn't have a kit for the longest time. So I had, and you're going to remember this. I think you might remember this.
I might.
So when I started playing at Jim's house, and I didn't have anything at home. So I had an old snare drum, which I'm going to get to in a second, an old floor tom, and that was it. So I had a drum pad for a rack tom, and an old metal garbage can as another rack tom with a towel on it, and that's what I, air cymbals, air ride, everything. And eventually, I found a CB700 on Bargain News. Parents bought it for me. Barry, I can't remember his last name. I actually just became friends with him on Facebook. He's the guy that I bought it off of. Somehow I figured out it was him. I was like, dude, I think I bought my first drum kit off of you. Anyway, so that snare drum, when I started taking lessons from you pick up the snare drum and you're looking at it and you're like, do you know what this is? I'm like, it's an old beat up snare drum. He's like, dude, this is a Slingerland Radio King.
Oh, yeah.
So I brought it to Creative because at the time I was 11 years old, whatever. I knew I could make money. I didn't care about this. I had a shiny CB700.
I don't need this anymore.
I don't need this old beat up thing. Dude, I got like $300, $350 for it. Back then, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I kicked
That's
myself.
a lot of papers to deliver or whatever it was.
Yeah, back then. I wish I had that snare now, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I've done the same thing. Yeah, I've done the same thing. Yeah, my parents found like an old Ludwig something or other. And I did the exact same thing. I got CB700s and probably just threw them out, or whatever. My parents just, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, man. Wish I had that stuff now.
Right?
How did you find me? What was I? I don't remember. What was I?
Was it Joe's guitar?
Yeah, sure.
It had to have been Joe's guitar.
Yeah. I probably had a flyer up or something.
Yeah. Or even I may have just asked Joe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It could have been something like that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Did I show you anything that Jim couldn't? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, Jim never really taught me any how to read anything.
Okay.
It was just him and I just banging on drums.
Yeah.
And him showing me things, but not really, teaching me anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, you taught me the basics of reading.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I can still do it. I mean,
Sure.
I could look at something and I can't. I can't.
You know what?
Sight read it.
Not me either. I mean, I could, but
right, exactly.
But I think, all right. So I still do that with kids if I can get away with it.
Yeah.
It's helpful, right? Kinda.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it helps you organize your thoughts at least. It
does.
I tell my kids, I go, you don't have to be a sight reader of world-class sight reader.
Right.
But I like you. I learned to play before I learned to read, and I found that reading was like, kind of straightened out a few things that were a mystery, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool, and then you just move on with your.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's cool.
These days, everything is well. I've been playing drums for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like if I've heard a song,
yep,
I could probably play it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a Rush song or
hopefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's what we try to. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even if I haven't heard, I mean, there's been times with one of the bands I play in now. Mark Mercier from Max Creek, I play in a band with him. He'll just throw out a random song that I've never heard, and I just have to fake my way through it. But the good thing is, I'm a drummer. I can't hit a wrong note. So as long as I keep it there, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So tell us what you're doing, because you mentioned that. I should have started with that. So what are you doing now? Because I just saw you with Mark and
that was
Dave
the Marx
Stoltz.
Brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Marx Brothers with Dave Stoltz, Mercier, and Mark Paradis.
Okay.
And then I play a lot of Grateful Dead music. So I play in a Grateful Dead tribute band called Dead Show with Paradis. Jeff Martinson, Mike Altschul, and Greg Marshall.
Okay.
And then I play in a Jerry Garcia band tribute with Jeff Martinson, who's the Bob Weir of Dead Show. Jordan Giangreco, I think you know Jordan. Yeah. Ron Spears sometimes. Cool. Well, it's kind of a rotating basis.
Yeah.
If somebody can play it, somebody can't. So, and then Jeff's fiancée, Kate. So, it's fun.
Wow, that's cool. How did you get into? I'm trying to remember. Back in the day, it was like rock and roll.
Yeah, I was 80s metal. Me and Seth.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we were Motley Crue, Warrant, Poison.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, when I first started, it was more. I mean, with Jim, it was Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, things like that.
Sure.
So I mean, that was always there.
Yeah,
and still is there to this day. But as Seth and I started playing music together, and the 80s hair metal thing really took me.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Tommy Lee as a player.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's obnoxious on stage when he talks, but
but he's a great player.
Oh yeah.
When did the Grateful Dead type of thing? When did that happen for you?
Freshman year of high school.
Oh, really?
Is when I really started listening to the Grateful Dead.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there a scene in Wallingford, or was it just you?
No, there was. There wasn't. It wasn't a big. It's not like what it is now.
Yeah,
believe it or not. I mean, even the Grateful Dead aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
Everybody likes the Grateful Dead. Back then, it was like, you like the Grateful Dead?
Oh yeah, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you kind of found your.
Yeah, I found my little clique.
Yeah, that's
so to
cool.
Speak. No, yeah, it was cool. I mean, actually, at that point, I didn't stop playing drums. I always had a drum kit, but I didn't really play that much. I was more into going to shows, Grateful Dead shows or Fish shows, as much as I could.
Yeah. So Fish kind of came into the world. Is that how it worked?
Yeah. Like Fish. That. I mean, I actually just saw my 98th Fish show.
Whoa!
I know. I saw a lot of Fish shows in the early.
You know how many I've
90s?
seen?
1.
0.
I thought you went to one.
No.
Oh.
My nephews keep trying to get me to go.
I heard it on the podcast. I was like, oh, he finally went to it. And I was like, oh, shit. I should have looked for him. Well, you didn't. The last one. I have 2 more, and the last one, which was a month ago.
Yeah.
It was not good.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, they're still a good band, but they're just not what they used to be.
Wow.
But hey,
you want to talk about that or no? I wouldn't know. I'm just curious.
So
what's the word on
their energy is just. They used to be really like driving, fun energy. Now they're getting older, so I'm not. They still play really well. It's just not what it was when I was seeing them all the time.
Yeah. So you went to your you remember your first show? I bet.
My first Grateful Dead show.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
so they were still around.
Yeah, 1993. I saw my first Grateful Dead show.
Wow.
Yeah, Boston Garden.
Was it? You were listening to them before then?
Oh yeah.
Was it? Were you like, this is great? I mean, you were like, okay, this is my.
So
thing.
I went with a friend of a friend, and I had bought my own ticket, so I was sitting by myself.
Wow.
And when you're at a Grateful Dead show and you're young,
you
partake in party favors.
Sure.
And I took too many of those party favors.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean it was fun, but it was very overwhelming. But it was great in the end, of course.
But it blew your mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're like, this is it.
I mean, it wasn't after 1990, after Brent Midland, their third keyboardist after he died.
Yeah.
They were good, and then Garcia just went downhill really quickly. So
and that's kind of the story.
Yeah.
How many times did you see them? The Dead.
I think like 15.
Wow.
Yeah, not that many.
Wow.
Well, there's people like Jeff, Jeff Martinson. He's seen him over like 350 times.
Whoa.
Yeah, he started going to see him like the early 80s.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So you caught were you doing was it Fish and Dead at the same time?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
More Fish, obviously.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Fish. I toured with Fish. I mean, I went on tour just Wow. All over the country.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was cool, man.
Doing the thing.
Yep. And not playing drums.
Wow.
And then I came back and, I kind of settled down, but I didn't really settle down. Garcia checked out. I kept playing with, I kept going to see Fish shows until 96. And then that was, it was their first festival up in Plattsburgh, New York. And there was a lot of people. A lot of drunk people, like breaking bottles, going after each other. I was like, this is it. This is done. So I kind of bowed out, and that's when I got back into playing drums.
Wow.
Fully.
And you were like, I used to play. Let me get involved in this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get in a band right away? You just kind of started playing again? And
so there were some guys that I traveled with that remember Wheel World in Wallingford? It was on South Cherry. I think it was on South Cherry. It was over near Parker Place. There was that brick apartment building.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a roller skating rink, and behind there was a room. And I played baseball with the owner's son, so I knew the owners of Wheel World. And I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Oh, yeah." I'm like, "Hey, I got a band. I'd like to," or friends that we kind of play music. Can we rent that out? And she was like, "Yeah." So we cleared it out, rented it, and we played. We didn't do any gigs. I mean, I think we played like 2 or 3 gigs. Sure. But it was more just like a place to hang out, have fun, play music, and just do whatever.
We talked about this peep in on the roller derby practices. I went there once, and there was a piece of carpet. I said, "What's that?" He goes, "Go look." I'm like, "What?" I lift it up and there's a little hole.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What?" I put my eye up to the hole and there's a bunch of hot women in fishnets roller skating. I didn't even know there's a roller rink. I was like, "Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?" They're like, "Oh yeah, it's a roller rink." And
that's fantastic.
This is it. And I'm like, "Dude, I would just get a chair, just sit there and watch them." I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah. So you were in that room?
I was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, at least once.
That's bizarre.
Yeah, it was just funny.
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa, this is bizarre."
That is nuts.
Yeah.
So we like I said, we hung out, played, and then I went to a party at Southern, and there was this duo playing acoustic guitar and bongos, and I loved the music. I was like, these guys are really good.
Yeah.
So I went up to him during a break and I was just like, "Hey, you guys got a drummer?" And they're like, "No, we don't have a drummer." I'm like, "Well, I'd love to come jam with you." And so it was Chris Fredericks, White Jerk Fred? Freddie Fredericks?
No.
All right, so it was him and Jim Mahowski? Bongo Jim. That's his nickname. Okay. Bongo Jim.
Is this Freddie Dreads?
Yeah.
I remember
Slap.
him.
Yeah.
SLAP.
Yeah. Anyway, so
cool. I remember him from back in the day.
So we started playing and the bassist at the time was away. I'll just put it that way. And then he finally came back. Okay. And we practiced and we ended up playing in New York City all the time. We cut an album down in Queens. I mean, I lived basically in Harlem for 2.5 months while we recorded it. Wow. No, it was really cool, man. It was, and honestly, I was like, this is it. This is the band, because the music was really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't a jam band, but it was jam band-esque in that the feel was there.
Yeah.
But we didn't really jam out.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it was so good.
It was the best of all worlds.
It really was, man. I mean, it was 5, 6, 7 minute songs, and then the bassist Marco, you dick. Yeah. No, I love him.
No, yeah,
he flaked on us. So, and the band disbanded.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And there you are.
Yeah, and then I got into a Grateful Dead tribute band, and that's basically what I've been doing.
Oh, that's cool. And then the word just gets out, and you just branch it out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Playing and probably working, doing something, or just playing full time. Young enough to do it.
No. I mean, at that time, actually, I was working at a company right over the bridge.
We were just talking about.
Yeah, in Middletown. And I worked there for about 20 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Doing work there. And then about 4 years ago, some stuff went down, and I saw the writing on the wall, and I went back to school.
Whoa.
At 42 years old.
Wow.
Got my real estate license,
that's cool.
And here I am now. So
that's great, though.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I love it, man. It's
that's
playing drums hanging out with my family and
selling houses.
And selling houses.
Yeah.
I'm my own boss. I don't have to answer to any. Well, I got to answer to the wife, but
yeah.
You know, it's freaking awesome.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, killer. So
Yeah.
we're playing again. Everybody's playing again.
Yeah, not as much as I wish.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
Never. Yeah.
I think this year, I mean, before COVID, it was at least, you know, 3, maybe 4 times a month.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Now I think I've had maybe 20 gigs this year.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a drag, but
yeah. Well, when I saw you were in the middle of a run though. You were like, dude, I just played 5 gigs in a minute or whatever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it was
you were
literally just like bam, bam, bam. Yeah, 4 gigs in 3 days.
Whoa.
Yeah. After that gig, I had to go run and play. There's another band I play in called Duke, which is my namesake.
Oh.
That's my stage name that Paradis
Duke,
gave me years ago.
Duke Konopka.
Yeah, Duke Konopka.
All right.
So yeah, it's a power trio. We literally play everything from Cat Stevens to Kiss to Yes. I mean, you name it. If we can play it, we'll play it. Primus,
that's cool.
And that's with Bob Laramie, which I'm sure you. Everybody knows Bob Laramie.
Wow. What's he doing?
Playing bass.
Just doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in years.
Really?
I wonder if I can get him in here. See, this is what happens. See, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Who else is in that band?
Paradis, Mark Paradis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been playing with Paradis now. I mean, him and I we're brothers in crime. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, since 1998.
Yeah, right.
We've been playing music.
So he's like the thread that runs through.
Yeah.
A couple of things.
Yeah, I mean, it's so when I
don't think I know him.
You've met Paradis. He was.
Yeah, I mean, I've met him. Yeah, but
I don't know. Oh, you never talked to him?
I don't think so.
Okay, you got him in here too. Cool. He's a guitar teacher too. Yeah. He so when I first started working at that company in Middletown, there was a friend of mine who was working there, Scott Guberman. You know Scott Guberman?
Sure.
So Scott was friends with my wife.
Okay.
Who I had actually met in '94. Meg, my wife. We got together for a minute. That's a story for another time. Sure, right. So I'm working at that company, and she walked in, and we're like, "Hey, how you doing?" No. And I started playing with a band called the Liberty Bus, a Grateful Dead tribute band.
Okay.
And with Paradis. Okay. And we needed a keyboardist, so we asked Scott, you want to come play? And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So Scott at the time had a band called 420.
Okay.
And they needed a drummer and they needed a guitarist.
Oh boy!
So Paradis and I both jumped on
that
gig. So yeah, I mean, literally since 1998, me and Paradis have been.
Hey, that's cool.
Just intertwined. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Good thing.
Yeah, it is.
Were you psyched when you started playing with Mark Mercier, the Max Creek thing?
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Yeah,
it was definitely cool. Yeah. I was surprised so according to Paradis, when he and Mercier put the Marx Brothers together, he originally wanted to be him, Mark Haberfeld.
Oh.
He used to play bass for Shakedown, and then JMO.
Oh wow!
If I remember what he said, that didn't happen, obviously. Then we got Stoltz. So yeah, that first gig, it was a little bit of like a whoa, I'm playing with Mark Mercier, and then whoa, I'm playing with Dave Stoltz.
Yeah, right.
You know, I used to go see Creek. You know, when I wasn't on Fish Tour or going to see the Grateful Dead, I would go to see Max Creek.
Yeah,
and I'd always go up to Mark every single time I saw the Creek, and I was just like, "Hey, can you play Big Boat?" And sometimes you would, sometimes you wouldn't. Which is funny. I mean, you know, I think it was like in 2010, 2011, I actually sat in with Creek for the first time and I played Big Bow and I was like, this is just too cool.
Yeah, that's killer. Yeah, so there you are in the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And now, I mean, Mark and I, Mercier, we have our this big group of friends. We always, we go over to their house.
So yeah, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, he's
cool such a nice guy.
Yeah. They all are. I play well. I don't know all those dudes, but I mean, I play with Mark and I play with Scott.
Yeah, and Guitarness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I got to know Scott. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, for sure. I've met.
And I wasn't on that scene, so I didn't really know those guys, so I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, Scott's a riot, man.
Yeah. Yeah, you never really got into the jam band thing, did you?
No.
Nope.
No, I don't know. I don't know what I was just kind of doing different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell they were. I don't even remember. But yeah, no. Yeah, I didn't get to play with Scott or Mark until, I don't know. It doesn't matter. But yeah, at some point I kind of got on the periphery of that scene, but not in, dead center of it like you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that's cool. So you're just going to just hang in there and try and do more and more stuff. As much stuff as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I wanna play more gigs.
Yeah, right.
For
sure. We all do.
And I've toyed around with the idea of starting a wedding band.
Yeah. Why not?
I know. I mean, I played one wedding. Well, I played a few, but there was one wedding that I played in New York City. It was actually Greg Vasso, who was a drummer for.
Oh yeah.
It was his wedding band with his brother Ray.
Mm-hmm.
It was Ray.
I have a long history with Ray.
Okay, all right. So it is Ray. I got it right.
Matter of fact, go back. I have a story.
Okay. So Greg couldn't play the wedding, so he asked me if I wanted to do it. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll play the wedding. It was this, what was it called? I can't remember. 57th Street, East 57th Street is where it was.
It's the bass player. It's the singer and the female singer and the bass player are the kind of band leaders, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was I remember that's $800 I made on. You know what I mean? Put up in a hotel room for a night, and the next day I went to a Yankee game. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I could do this.
Yeah.
I mean, before the reception started, they had just mounds of sushi everywhere, and I was just like, Jesus, man, this is great.
This is great. Yeah. Weddings are cool. Yeah. I think I did. I was all right. So yeah, I knew Ray Vasso way back. Mm-hmm. Great singer, great keyboard player.
Yeah.
And I was in a wedding band with him around the turn of the century, probably in Burlington, Vermont. He got involved with these people, and me and him would go up and play a wedding every Saturday in Vermont and then come back.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was great. But that's the cool thing about Vermont. If I could say Vermont people, I don't know what that means, but in my mind, if you play a wedding in Vermont, everybody's just partying. It's not like a wedding here.
No, not at all. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. Absolutely.
So if people in Vermont, if they're looking for a wedding band, they're looking for, what were they? I played one gig. I subbed for Greg. What are they called? Do we remember? But they were cool. But
it was.
Oh, I remember. It's Loving Cup. That's what they were called.
That's
what they call themselves now. Anyway,
I don't. Maybe it was.
But anyway, but that's the thing is it's a wedding band, but it's Vermont people are cool,
right?
So they're ready to rock. They're ready to rock out.
Yeah, I mean the one that I did in New York. I mean, we played everything from Steely Dan to Grateful Dead, and then do the wedding songs. It was a Jewish wedding too, so we had to do the.
Right, but it's not like I've been in plenty of wedding bands where it's
top 40.
Yeah. Where this is kind of like people that want
to have fun.
Yeah,
they want to listen to music, good music.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's what I'd love to do. I'd love to start something like that. I mean, I've been talking about doing that for years. And
you might, because like you say, what happens is it's just people getting married that are of that certain age. They don't remember the wedding singer. They don't know what it's supposed to be. They just go, we want to get a kick-ass band.
Right, exactly.
Like I have a nephew lives up in Burlington, so he's kind of in that scene too. And he just was at a wedding. Tim Palmieri played the wedding.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God, it's great.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So there are people that are just they just want to hire the best band that they can get.
Yeah, and if you're going to get Tim.
Yeah.
He's a pretty badass band.
Yeah, he's the greatest. Yeah.
Yeah. All those guys. I mean, it's so back in the 420 days, us and oh my God, Psychedelic Breakfast the Breakfast. We used to share bills all the time. And
that guy's the best drummer in the world.
Adrian?
Yeah.
I know. Now he's playing
the best
with
drummer in the world. Yeah.
I mean, or he's subbing for two. I don't know if he's in Twitter or if he's subbing, but I mean, it's just it's so awesome to see those. I mean, those dudes pay their dues.
Oh, yeah.
And look at, they both I don't know if Adrian, but I know Tim just played Red Rocks. I mean, that's awesome, dude.
I know.
So cool.
And it's not that it needs my approval or anything, but it's of all the people, and no disrespect to any of us or anybody else, but of all the people I know, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh.
I'm those are the guys.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the dudes.
And they were that good back then.
And they were that good back then.
Early late 90s, it was
I remember.
just nasty.
Well, not that this mattered. I mean, we're talking, so I guess anything matters. But to me, Adrian is so great. I shouldn't say most drummers, but a lot of drummers you see and you think about what you would do different, or you're like critical of,
I know exactly what you're saying. Nope.
To me, he is on. I can fully appreciate what he does because it's not even the same instrument. Like he is so beyond that I can just enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
And it's a gas to see it happen because you're just like, in my opinion, for whatever it's worth, I'm like, that guy's he's one of the best drummers in the world, on the planet. Period. I don't know anyone that I enjoy more in that style, whatever you want to call it. Well, I don't even know what you call it. But to just hear
Adrian
him blow.
style.
No, but I love his. Yeah, I'm just like, this guy is the greatest.
He's so good.
And to see it happen, I'm just like, well, of course. Yeah. How you could scheme or figure out how, and I'm just like, when you're as good as those guys, people are going to come see you.
Oh yeah,
because they can't believe it.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, he's just nasty.
Yeah, no, I love his playing. All right. So real quick, so one time, and I'll stop talking about it, but this was one of the craziest. So I saw Adrian play one time with the Breakfast, and it was just mind blowing. And then years go by, and I'm playing with Guitarnist, which is Jeff Pivar, Scott Morawski, and me and Dave Lavosi.
Yeah.
And Dave was in Kung Fu with Adrian. But I didn't know Adrian that well. And we played, Wormtown or something one year. And, and I'm thinking I'm Mr. Cool, like I arrived. Here I am. I'm here. I'm doing my thing. And Dave goes, do you mind if my friend plays congas during our set? And I'm like, man, I don't care. I'm acting like Mr. Cool.
Right.
And it was Adrian. I didn't know that. So he's next to me and he's playing congas, and he's a cool guy. I mean, hey man, how's it going? Yeah. But I'm thinking I'm Mr. Big Shot. And he's over there playing, and I can't hear anything that he's doing. Right. So I'm just,
Yeah, you got your in-ears in. And
and I'm like, whatever, good for him. Yeah. And I'm up there doing my thing. Yeah. And then we get done playing, and I'm thinking I'm a hot shot. Oh, hey, this is great. And then after the gig, we're kind of standing around talking, and I hear Dave they're talking about Kung Fu business, and I just go, wait a minute, you're that guy? And he's like, what? And I'm like, you're that guy. And then it suddenly occurs to me, I'm like, you just sat next to me and listened to me play my best for an hour and a half, and it probably sounded like I was playing in slow motion. Like here I am, like not being condescending, but just going, yeah, sure, man, whatever.
Right, no.
And I'm like, oh, no. And I'm like, you know what? It's a good thing I didn't know that before, because I would have been freaked out to
nervous.
Play. Oh yeah.
Now see,
because I would have been like, there's just nothing that I could do that he wouldn't be like, yeah.
Now see, he's not like that. Well, do you know Adrian?
Oh yeah. And then so over the years,
so you get to I actually we played a few gigs as this thing called Bare Bones. It was me, him on guitar.
Oh yeah. It's
I mean, he's crazy. Rips on guitar.
Yeah, crazy. He's like Oblon. They're in that other level.
Yeah.
That other thing.
What's the bassist name from Kung Fu? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Well, it was Dave Lavosi, and then it's
him.
Yeah.
And he plays in The Breakfast now too.
Right. You keep talking.
And then at one of the gigs, it was Todd Stoops from Rack.
Right.
And then Gooberman on another. So one of them was on keys and the other one was on organ.
Sure. Wow.
But anyway, I went into that gig, and because I've known Adrian for so long, I was just like, I know he can smoke me on drums, but I'm just going to do my thing. I can play Grateful Dead music because I know how to play.
Sure.
But yeah, that's funny. You're like, that's that guy.
It's good, but good thing I didn't know before.
Right. Yeah.
But no, and then over the years, he is cool. There's been times when
he's so cool.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a wedding with that band, with Greg Vasso's band. I subbed for him a couple of summers ago, and I had never been to Manchester, Vermont.
Yeah.
And we played up on the hill, and you kind of did sound check, and I went down into the town. I was like, oh, this is cute. I bet you my wife would like this. And we just went there. That's where we went this weekend.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I told her. I said, I found this town. I played this wedding. You would love it. There's nothing to do. Like, we'll just chill.
Right.
It's like a main street that's like 2 blocks.
Oh, so it's like Telluride, Colorado, where it's just like mountains, a little tiny town, and then mountains.
Yeah, you just shop and eat and be old. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah,
and that was because of Greg Vasso. I've never in all my years been in that town.
Right.
I'm like, oh, this would be a great place to just
Yeah, I mean, all the times I went up to Vermont, I used to go to Vermont a lot.
Sure.
Before I was married.
Love Vermont.
I do too, man. I haven't been there in a long time, but I always went to like, Montpelier, Burlington, stuff like that. So. Stowe.
Yep.
Car broke down in Stowe.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've played many gigs there. Remember the old days, the Rusty Nail.
Yeah.
Used to be the gig.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that's there anymore. Rusty Nail. Anyway, who cares?
I don't know.
But yeah, Greg Vasso, the Vassos, Vermont, Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? Some of your favorite drummers. Like who blew your mind?
Adrian.
Yeah.
No, honestly, Jim.
Yeah, sure.
You, because you guys both got me. Well, you both got me started to where I am now.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, John Fishman.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I mean, he's.
Yeah.
I actually just watched a video earlier today, and it was from this past weekend.
Yeah.
Of a gig they play or a show they played.
Yeah.
And the camera was really focused in on him. It was like a 4K. It was released by Fish, and I was just like, man, he is still really fucking good.
Yeah. I don't know enough.
Yeah, I mean, I can hip you to some things that are really like, oh.
Well, I don't want to sound like a thing. So like I never got into that scene, and correct me if I'm wrong. I think it kind of depends on what you hear. Like what thing? So in my mind, back in the day, I would hear Fish and I would go,
right.
I just didn't, right?
Yeah.
And then my nephews, who I respect, they're not musicians, but their thing, and they would tell me, Unc, Fish, you got it, and I'd be, and because I know everything, there's no way I could, And then there was one day, I was somewhere, and I heard something on the jukebox that I couldn't figure out what it was. It was live, and I was like, I don't remember what it was, but, wow. And then I'm finally like, whoa, wow, this is really good. I wonder what this is. Yeah. And I Shazammed it, and it was Fish.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. And that happened a couple of times.
So you're like, now I got to pay attention.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I just said to my nephew, I just told him, and he's like, dude, I told you.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, fair enough. And he goes, that's why you got to come. And I'm like, okay, I got you. All right, I will.
You should. You should go see at least one show. You should. Yeah.
I will. Why not?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it snuck up on me.
Right.
Maybe it's one of those things, if somebody tells you how good something is, you put on different ears.
Right.
But when you're caught off guard and you don't know what it is, and you go, oh, okay. And then I'm like, all right. I'm going to stop acting like I know, because I don't.
Right.
But yeah, it did get me. I wish I remembered what it was. But
I mean, Fishman, he's got, he all four limbs do completely different independent things. Not at all times, but I mean, there's some songs where it's just like, I can practice and practice. I'll never be able to play what he's doing right here. Yeah. It's kind of like Adrian. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I believe you.
Yeah. Other drummers?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Bonham.
Sure.
I mean,
kind of where it all starts.
Yeah, both Billy and Mickey from the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Do you still so you put hair metal behind forever, or not really? You still
no. I mean, I subscribe to Ricky Rocket's YouTube channel.
Do you really? I haven't seen it in a while. What's he doing?
Well, they're on tour doing that stadium thing with Motley Crue and Joan Jett and
yeah.
Who's the other band?
It's funny.
Oh, Def Leppard.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I really don't listen to. I mean, I'll listen to Metallica every now and then.
Yeah.
I'll get into. I love Tool. Danny Carey.
Sure.
Danny Carey is just.
Yeah, sure.
He's like the Adrian of prog.
Yeah.
I mean, he could do anything and everything, and it's just like.
There was a thing. Well, I think maybe one of the morals of this part of the story is actually I'm doing better now. I'm like, I need to get over myself, because I had one of my students, Danny Carey. That's my first reaction, which I don't know why. And there was one thing he goes, he played me something, and and he goes, I want to show me this. Let's figure this out. Okay. And I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I hear what he's doing. And I went to do it, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm like, I don't have the coordination to do this. Like, I heard it.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't, and I was like, okay, all right.
You know what song it was?
No, but it goes. So anyway, it took me a week, and I said, it's a teaching.
I'm going to get this.
A learning. Well, I told the student, I said, all right, you know what? I said, okay, I'm going to give me a week, because I'll see you next week. Yep. I said, give me a week to work on it. I'm going to practice it like I always tell you to do. Right. I'm going to tell you how long it took me and what the process was. And I got it within a week, and then it took me another week to swag it. Right. Because my thing is like, if I can play something, but it sounds like I'm on a unicycle.
Yeah, exactly.
I got to work it.
It's got to feel.
It was one of those. It was like a 3/4, one of his famous. But it was like, I think the kick. It was like boom, bats, boom, boom, bats, boom, boom, bat. But the hi hat was, that thing.
Yep.
So it revolves. So it takes 4 measures for it to come back to 1.
Yeah.
And so you're doing a polyrhythm basically with your left foot.
Yeah.
But I heard it, I was like, yeah, okay, that's 3. But then I went to play it and I'm like, I know. Okay, there's the spot where your coordination fails. And I was like, okay, you know what? Let me work it. And then by the time I was done, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. You know?
There's a couple videos on YouTube of Danny Cam.
Okay.
Of a couple different songs.
Yeah, I probably saw. I had to read.
You can watch it and you see what he's doing, but you still can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I guess that's
come on,
that is something, right?
I guess if I practice more, maybe I'd be.
Well, I tried to. Well, whatever. It's not. I tried to make it my business, because I just said, well, you know what, and also, in a way, none of this would matter to you, but as a teacher, I guess, if that's what I am, I have to. I got it. I'm not saying that I know how to play everything, but it's good for me to put myself in that position where I'm sweating it, because then I'm more patient with my students when I'm. You know what I mean? Like I'm like glad that I'm like, okay, good. Now I can get myself into trouble and work my way out of it, because it's like when I teach as much as I do, it's easy for me to take it for to not understand the struggle.
Right.
And they might struggle with something easier than that or not, but it's good for me to get in that zone.
You're in their
weeds.
Shoes now.
Yeah, I'm in their shoes. I got to work my way out of the weeds.
That's awesome.
So, why not?
Yeah.
And it gave me a goal, and I just said, well, now I got to walk the talk.
Right.
And, because I keep telling them, oh, you just got to spend this much time. And I was like, all right, dude, you can spend 10, 15 minutes a day working through this.
Right.
And I would get like 2/3 of the way through, and then this one little turnaround. And I'm like, okay. That's where you never did that move before.
Right, and now you have that in your wheelhouse.
Now I got it in my wheelhouse.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Right on. That's awesome.
Why not? Got to do it. You got to do it.
For sure.
Who else blew your mind? That's it. We covered them all.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm sure there's other people that I'm just drawing a blank on right now.
It's all right. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Into it. Still practicing. Still practice. Not as much. Not like we used to.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the old days.
I mean, not at all, but I mean, just not what it's
never.
Yeah, I mean, obviously younger,
Life.
you're like every single second I'm going to play drums. And now it's like every single second, I don't want to play drums, but I do, but I want to play it in a live setting with a band.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know you. Sometimes when I get adult students, it's difficult sometimes because you don't realize we take it for granted. I don't know if you were the same way. But I had like 2 or 3, years where no girls, no sport. That's all I did.
Right.
Just play drums all the time. And you realize, oh, I'm getting my hours.
Right.
And then you get older and you're like, wow, I got to work.
Right.
I don't have as much time.
Exactly. Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're lucky that we had that. Yeah. And you were lucky. So you had Jim Oblon next door. That's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Not
I mean, from when I started playing drums until... Well, like 17 or 18.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's pretty wild.
And Mike Woods. Remember Mike Woods?
I remember that name.
He was bassist. He played in JC Super. JC Super Scott. He was in Damone. Did you ever hear the band Damone out of Boston?
I think so.
So,
what was his name?
Mike Woods.
Yeah, maybe.
He lived up like Highland.
Yeah, okay.
Highland Street, Highland, whatever that up above.
Back up there.
The school, whatever.
Yeah. I think I remember.
Yeah, so he, the 3 of us and Seth, we would just go to Jim's house and just play music all day.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Just
killer.
Great. Yeah. It was great.
Seth is still doing it. So Seth was a drummer back then?
No, he's still it. Well, he's more of a singer, obviously, singer-songwriter. No, he was the guitarist in our band, Coda. That was the first name of our band, Coda.
Yeah.
But he just had a drum kit just because.
Oh, yeah, right.
Just had a drum kit. Yeah, exactly.
Everything's there.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I got to get him up here.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm sure he's got many stories.
Yeah, definitely. So you've been listening to my show, so you know the questions that are coming.
I do.
The wrap it up questions. Are you ready? Are you prepared?
Of course.
All right. So consistent practicer of your instrument? Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily. I mean, now that I have this new kit, I probably will set. So my son having his studio. So that was the reason I got the kit. I got the kit because he needs one for his studio.
Gotcha.
So I'm giving him my old Gretsch for his studio, so that way it's always set up.
Right.
And now I've got the new shiny
cool.
one. So when the studio's done and the kit is set up, I'm sure I'll be in there a lot.
And then he can record you. He can figure it out.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That'll work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I mean, I like working on things. I like playing, but I need to play with people.
Yeah.
As drummers, it's like,
don't
you do this? Like, I'll work out something cool and then never use it on the gig, because it just doesn't, you can't, you're like,
where am I going to crowbar this in?
Yeah.
And then you try to go to nail it and you just fuck it off.
Yeah. That happens to me all the time.
Like, I shouldn't even have tried.
Yeah. I do. Yeah. I get in the zone and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try and throw this in now. Yep. And you're like, nope, not yet. Not ready yet. Not happening.
Next thing you know, the song's over. You're like, maybe next
Yep.
time.
Yeah. Oh, well. Hey, man, you got to try. You never know. Desert Island albums, a few that you could take with you forever. That you never get sick of.
For the longest time, anytime somebody ever asked me that, I always just had one.
Ooh.
And it was Pet Sounds.
So, hey.
But
how about that?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. How'd you get into that?
My father was a huge Beach Boys fan.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool.
So... Cool. And just as I got older,
so funny.
It's just it's perfect.
Yeah,
it's like God Only Knows is literally like there's never another song. Nothing will be ever as good as that song. No, it's just perfect.
Yeah,
it really is a perfect song.
Crazy.
Yeah. We actually play that in Duke.
Whoa,
a 3-piece. Trying to pull that off. Yeah, it actually kind of sounds all right. Yeah. It's funny. But because you're giving me a few, and this is going to be random.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
No real records, but more, some Grateful Dead shows.
Sure.
From like 87 and
I got you.
89.
So there's like Holy Grail bootlegs that people swear by or whatever?
No, just certain shows that I really like.
Yeah.
There's one from 87 from Pittsburgh that's just awesome. The Neville Brothers sat in.
Wow.
And the Ico is just
I
mean, the groove is just so huge.
Yeah.
And then a couple fish shows. And that's what I would bring.
Yeah.
But really, Pet Sounds. That's if I had to choose just one, it would be Pet Sounds.
It's so funny. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, me too. I was the same way. My parents had it. I heard it when I was a little kid. My mom was into it. My dad wasn't. And she liked it. And I heard it and then forgot all about it. And then as an adult, went back and I was like, whoa.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
It really is.
Wow, that's funny. Wow, Pet Sounds. I wouldn't have thought that.
Pet Sounds, and then a random recording of Catch a Wave.
Oh, wow. Oh, really?
It's just such a cool groove on that song.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I dig the Beach Boys, man. Desert Island food. Sushi. We already...
Cheeseburgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I know, everybody says sushi or pizza.
Really?
I'm a cheeseburger connoisseur, man.
Really?
I can eat them every day.
Wow. Don't.
Oh, I don't. Trust me, I don't, but I could.
where, what's the best? Where? What?
So the best one I ever had was at Mickey Mantle's in New York City. Uh-oh. It's closed now, but my God, it was it was perfect.
Huh?
Yeah, kind of like Pet Sounds.
What are you looking for when you what makes it? What makes it?
I don't know.
Yeah. You'll just know it when you know.
You just know it when you eat it.
Yeah. There's a place like that in West Hartford. I teach up there too, and it's a Greek place.
Yeah.
It's like falafel, but they have a cheeseburger. They have a burger on the menu, but I don't think that they care about it.
Right.
But but they don't know. Like I saw it one day, and they're like beef, and I'm like yeah, and it's like because it's like they're out of their wheelhouse.
Right.
But everything about it.
What do they do? Just
every ingredient is top shelf, and it's just like.
So there's a place down.
Crazy. That's my spot.
In Clinton, I think is where it is. Doc's Grill. I played a random gig with Ron Spears.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago. Yeah, it was actually, it was 2020. Funny. And I was like, I need to eat something. So I ordered a burger. Yeah. And it was so good. So the next time I was down in the area showing a house, I actually called the place and I was like, I need a burger to go.
Yo.
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you into the whole steam thing around here in Meriden? Not your thing, huh?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Never liked them.
Old school.
Yes.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. You might already answered this, but like most mind-blowing live show that changed your trajectory. We already. This is like in case, the end questions in case we missed.
So there's two shows that stick out to me in my mind. One was November 11th, 1995, Fox Theater in Atlanta, Fish.
Whoa.
It was my birthday. A friend of mine gave me a ticket, or miracled me into the show.
Sure.
13th row center, just absolutely they just destroyed it.
Wow.
And then like 2 weeks later in Orlando, same tour, just jaw on the ground, just unbelievably good. Yeah.
So what do? You save your money and just get rooms along? Like, how does that whole thing work?
No, you just. You want to try to save some money.
Go on the road.
There's a way to make money on the road.
Okay.
Hotels, not really. It's sleep in the car, sleep in the van if you got somebody with a van.
Wow. Yeah. Go on a big giant adventure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was fun. It was it was an awesome experience, that's for sure.
Wow.
From what I can remember, there's a lot of things I don't remember.
Yeah. Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah. And then obviously, my first Grateful Dead show is.
Yeah, right. You couldn't wait. You were ready.
Oh yeah, it was like the night before. It was, it was the day before Christmas, and then I had to work the next morning before, and I was just like, oh my god, it was a Sunday.
Oh man,
it's like I just want this to be over. I just want to get to Boston.
Oh man, yeah, I know. I know the feeling. I think we all do.
Yeah,
that feeling of waiting for the show.
Right, or this past Friday night, waiting for Saturday morning to go pick up my new drums. Same thing. I was like, yeah.
That's a crazy feeling. That's one you don't get.
Yeah, especially when the wife says it's okay to go ahead and spend $1,000. You're like, yeah,
all right. Yeah, that's cool. Killer.
Yeah.
What color?
Well, I'm colorblind, so according to everybody, it's like a cherry burst. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Colorblind.
Yeah.
How's that happen?
I don't know.
You don't know? How do you know? I
have no idea what color this is. It's either brown or green.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. How do you find out that you're colorblind? I'm just curious. You don't have to talk about it.
No, it's totally fine. Well, my mom figured it out when I was in nursery school. I can't remember what exactly happened, but when she picked me up, I had said something about a joke that the green boy said, and the kid. It was a black kid.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
So
tell.
Brown became green. Somehow.
Yeah. So I have no idea if this is blue or purple.
Yeah.
So
you want me to tell you, or doesn't it matter? It doesn't
really matter. Yeah. I have a client that actually bought me a pair of the colorblind glasses.
Oh.
They kind of work.
Oh, really? It's a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unbelievable that he did that.
I wonder do you know what causes it?
I have no idea.
Wow.
I know that not only, but the majority of people that have it are male. So.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, reds, greens, blue, purple, Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's all over the map. So.
What about traffic lights?
On the way home from gigs at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You see a flashing light. I'm stopping. I don't know.
You're like, I don't know if it's yellow or red.
So I got to stop. You know? Unless I've been down that road.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yep.
See?
Yeah.
See, that's what this is good for.
Yeah,
in all these years, never knew Brian Konopka is colorblind.
Exactly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Weird. All right. Anything you want to touch on before we wrap it up? Anything that we did not talk about? I'm a little bit out of it. I'm just you know the feeling. I need a vacation from my vacation.
Oh
like
yeah,
I'm kind of out of it from being on vacation.
I do know that feeling.
I'm like,
I need a vacation from building pool. I put a pool in, and now I'm building a studio.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to sell houses. And it's just like everything's on my shoulders.
How's the market?
I got to get all this shit done.
How's the market right now?
It's just crazy.
Oh, it is? Oh, good.
Well,
because for a while,
it's crazy weird though. No, it's crazy in that there's still not a lot of houses on the market.
Yeah,
the interest rates are going high. They're high now.
Yeah,
but sellers are still trying to price their houses too high. And sometimes they're getting it, and then people are overpaying, and it's just, you know, I have to I'm reeling all my buyers in, just like, listen, I know how much you love this house, but you're not going to spend, you know, $700,000 on a house that's worth $550 because you're never going to make it back. So and thankfully they're listening to me. So
have you been? Well, this has got to be crazy. Like, we've never been in anything like this. So like, you can see the cycles. But that must be your whole gig, is learning the cycles of how things work.
Well, yeah. It's funny. My mentor, he just said to me not too long ago, he's like, dude, you've seen all different forms of the market, where it's been normal, where it's been low, where it's been up, and now it's just whatever this is.
Whatever, yeah.
You just got to push.
And we don't know where it's headed.
No, there is no way to, no.
Wow.
Yep. It's just so crazy.
Yeah. But you're doing it. I mean, you're gonna hang in there.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna get better. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be whatever.
I'm just gonna keep pushing.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah, we bought our dream house. It was like, I don't know, we were a couple of months into lockdown.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, I mean, we were underwater forever in our condo. And we made a hard run. We were like, we gotta start paying on the principal so we can put this thing on the market.
Yeah.
And I was completely unemployed. And she was like, now we should start shopping for a house. I'm like, are you out of your mind? She's like, and for once in my life, I said, why don't you just shut up and go, okay. And we hit it when when it was crazy, when the market was nuts, everything was out there. And I mean, if we hit it like a month later, I think we wouldn't even ended up with this house, but it was just like, boom.
Yeah.
We were the first people to see it, gave them their asking price because we already got outbid a few times. We were like, we'll never get this. They took our offer. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I said, here's what we do: set our price on the condo and sell it to the first person that gives us the price.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a jerk. And our condo was on the market for like a day.
Oh yeah.
It was like everybody was going up one, and we just hit it. But like, after we did it, and then we watched interest rates go back up like a couple months, I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
We hit it right at the right moment.
Yeah. I mean, still, even today, like, houses are, I just got a new referral yesterday, and you know, she's looking for a condo in like 4 different towns, and those 4 towns, there's like 7 or 8 condos total.
Yeah,
and
right.
all of them have been on the market for a week or less.
I know.
Everything else is under contract. It's like, jeez.
Yeah. Well, get in there.
You got to be quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
Well, you're quick.
Yeah.
Speedy Konopka.
There you go. Speedy Duke Konopka.
Yeah. All right, that's the way it's going. It's going to go now. That's the way we're going to capture it. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
That was
Thank
cool.
you for having me,
we had
man.
the gig because
it.
I think I have a master list somewhere, you know, when I started this, and you were probably on it. And then I forget.
Of course.
And I go back to the list. And then when I saw you were going to be on that gig, I was like, boom.
Nice.
You know, this is going to happen. And it happened.
I appreciate it,
We're
dude.
here. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and it's an easy, fun way to get caught up too.
Absolutely.
Because we would never actually do this.
Right.
It's usually like, oh, hey, man.
Yeah.
And that's it.
How you been?
All right, cool. Well, I'm going to press the button. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Brian Speedy Duke Konopka is here. Blast from the past. John Peckman Podcast. That's my name. Too loud. John Peckman Podcast. Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Beautiful downtown Portland, Connecticut. Come over the bridge. Go through one satellite. Start looking left. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell. Tell your friends. Come on the show. Start your own podcast. Dave will tell you how. Brian Konopka, thank you very much.
Thank you, John Peckman.
Later. That is all.
If you'd like to start your own podcast, give us a call at Connecticut Valley School of Music and Dance. Our professionally designed podcast space is here for all your recording needs. Rent out our studio to do interviews with up to 4 people, to record audiobooks, social media content, and all other recorded material. Our rentals include a private studio along with our professional-grade podcasting equipment, and we can customize your output to whatever your needs are. We also have green screen capabilities, which will expand to video capability if you so wish. So check us out here at convalley.net/podcast.